Okay, so it's Commitment Sunday for the Catholic Services Appeal. So we do have envelopes in the pews, and the goal was to, bring our pledges today to make that commitment collectively as a diocesan church. So if you could pass those down if anybody needs them. If you brought yours, obviously we're going to put it into the offertory. So I give you permission to work on that during the homily, okay? So, and feel free to get up if you need to get one at the end of the pew if you're ready to make that pledge. So last summer, we had a chance to take that pilgrimage to England, and I remember one of the things I knew we were going to go to visit was the birthplace of Shakespeare, Stratford-upon-Avon. And so I was trying to kind of immerse myself in Shakespeare stuff. Admittedly, not a huge literature fan to begin with, and certainly struggle with reading Shakespeare and his, kind of his Old English style, but still kind of fun to dive into that a little bit. So one of the stories that I got exposed to that I really had never read nor seen acted out was Hamlet. I'd probably read parts of it in school somewhere, but never really remembered the whole thing. So, and so it's interesting because it's considered one of the classic, artworks on revenge. So, a little bit of a spoiler alert here if you were planning on reading Hamlet this week, and I'm going to talk about it. But so Hamlet ends up, his father is killed who was the king in the Netherlands, is killed by his brother, who then becomes king and then marries his brother's wife, becomes the new king. And so Hamlet is kind of charged by the ghost of his father to avenge his killing. And I won't get into all the details, but the bottom line is, in the end, everybody dies, essentially. The kind of climax of the end of the story. And it's interesting because there's certainly Christian themes in Shakespeare. In some of my reading, there were still debates as to whether he could have been Catholic or, versus Anglican. He would have kind of grown, he would have lived during the years of the Catholic persecutions in England. But, and whether he had some Catholic in his family background, whether he was a secret Catholic or not, we don't know. But nonetheless, that basic insight that comes from the overall plot of Hamlet is something that's part of our Christian perspective. That in the end, revenge hurts everyone, if not kills everyone. So this challenge in the Christian, ethos, this gospel we hear today in the midst of the Sermon on the Mount in Matthew's gospel is kind of the quintessential identification of the Christian call, what uniquely Christianity brings to the development of humanity is this call to resist the temptation to revenge and, going even at times beyond justice or what we might consider justice, and go beyond that into mercy. The love and the mercy which forgives. It's not just a letting go, and this is something I often talk to people when I'm counseling about struggling with grudges and forgiving others. It's not just a passive letting go or forgetting about it, moving on. It's an active choice, an act of the will to say, I choose to forgive you. It doesn't mean don't worry about it. It doesn't mean I'm okay. It's okay. It's not okay. You were hurt, right? It's a choice to say, I choose to forgive you in love. And in that is a process of letting go. In that is how things become okay. But that doesn't happen without the active choice of forgiveness. So this turning the other cheek, we have to be careful. This isn't just a passive, acceptance of just injustice. This is an active choice to say, I'm going beyond what is my due, and I choose to give to you what is not owed to you, which is my mercy, my forgiveness, my love. And we do it because, again, that's arguably, love and mercy are the two best words we have to explain God. It's not vengeance, it's not justice, it's not, whatever other elements of that we would think of. It's mercy and love. And if we want to be followers of Jesus Christ, the Son of God, the epitome and the manifestation of mercy and love in the flesh, then we too have to be people of mercy and love. And that's what Jesus in the Sermon on the Mount is trying to help the people see. And so let's pray for that grace. And maybe we're dealing with still grudges that we're holding on to pray for that grace, to have the best two defining terms that people would use for us, followers of Jesus Christ, sons and daughters of God. They look upon us and say the best two words to describe us are love and mercy. And to know that that's the way that everyone wins. Everyone experiences love and mercy. Everyone is healed, and everyone goes forward a little closer to each other and to our God.